Hello, folks. I'm back with Sabaton. We haven't done any Sabaton for a while. I've just been fiddling with my mic, which has thrown me completely now. I should make sure I got that in front of my face. Yeah, sorry if that made a noise. Valley of Death, Sabaton. I'm on the wrong screen. I'm not with it this morning at all, am I? 007 Mark has suggested this one a while ago now. So I'm sorry it's taking me so long to get to, but we're going to do it now. I don't know what to expect from this. I have no idea what this is about. Oh, excuse me. But as ever, we've got the history video afterwards. So this is 2 videos. And yeah, we'll be taking a look at the backstory of this because I don't know what war this is about. I don't know what fight this is about, what battle. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So we're going to enjoy the music and then we're going to find out what the hell it's all about. So let's give it a go, shall we? Here we go. Ooh.
Trench lines that won't give in, prepared, let the battle begin. Here again, they've done this before, a lesson that they should have learned by now. Reinforced with new men and guns, who are ready for death when it comes. United they're strong, united they're holding the line. The valley of death, awaiting the British as they come their way.
Okay. Strong start. I'm kind of got mesmerized a bit then by the screens. I'm not quite sure I'm enjoying the screens like this. I'd rather the screens had they were on the screen longer and the lyrics were just flowing without the pictures changing so quickly, because I feel like that's flicking through so quickly that I'm getting a bit like, what the hell? So I think I'm just going to stop looking at that and look at the lyrics instead. I'm not sure about this one. It's a weird one. I like the strong start, but it's not hooking me at the moment like they normally do. I don't know. So I'm going to pay attention to the lyrics and the music and stop looking at the flickering screen. That was doing my head in, having it flash past so quickly and the screen change so quickly with the words. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this one. Let's carry on and I'll have a think about it.
Awaiting the British as they come their way. Their attack is coming, fight them back. Bulgarians holding the line, facing wave after wave, will never surrender. Again. They attack, Bulgaria held them back. Unleash their counter barrage. Let it rain, artillery pound in the trenches. No surrender, fight them till the end. Fortified and made
Okay. Okay. That I was trying to think what that reminded me of. It was kicking off some memories and just the feel of it. And I think it was that chorus. It kind of reminded me, and I was trying to place it. Then I was thinking of just of some sort of hero cartoons back in the day in the 70s and 80s. It had that vibe to it of the sort of music you get. It's weird. I'm not sure if I like this one. I love the guitar solo and the fast-paced drums. In fact, I think the guitars, that whole instrumental part was the best bit for me, other than I really like the harmonies, especially in the chorus when the harmonies were kicking in. It just sounded so good, but I'm not quite sure about the rest of it. It's not one of my favourite Sabatons, I have to say. I'm looking forward to finding out the history behind this. It's obviously Bulgarians fighting off the English, by the look of it, the British. And I didn't like the lyric video. I couldn't find another version of this, and I just found that very disjointed for me. It was, it didn't flow very well, and I didn't like the lyrics being there and just changing so quickly, because obviously the lyrics have got to keep up with the singing, and it was too quick for me. But yeah, instrumental best part, like the harmonies, not overly keen, but had that hero I don't know if you understand me when I say that, but a vibe from like the sort of action hero cartoons you used to get, like He-Man and stuff like that. Not He-Man so much. I'm trying to think of the cartoon it reminded me of. But weird. Yeah. Bits of it I really liked. some of it I was like, okay, it's not grabbing me as much as some of the others that I've listened to. But that was interesting. Let me just flick over now to this one. And let's go back in and find out the history behind this. It's going to be interesting. Here we go.
I'm Per from Sabaton.
And I'm Indy Nidell.
And you are watching Sabaton History Channel, and this one is about Valley of Death.
Valley of Death. I'm just going to say right out now at the beginning what I used to say a lot when I was writing and presenting the Great War, especially 1917 and 1918. The Bulgarian defenses in the Balkans along the Salonika or Macedonian front were, in my opinion, the best defense system of any nation on any front in the First World War. Okay, let's roll. In late 1915, the first British troops arrived at the Balkan theater. As part of a multinational allied army, the Five-Nation Army of the Orient, they would see action against all of the Central Powers, but specifically here Bulgaria, which had recently entered the Great War on the side of the Central Powers, who then had direct communication lines from Berlin to Istanbul. The overall strategy seemed simple: break Bulgaria's hold on Serbia, advance into the Vardar River Valley, and push the Bulgarians all the way back to Sofia. To do that, the British decided to put pressure on the area west of Lake Doiron, a major strategic objective since it guarded Costarino Pass. But a first battle there in August 1916 ended in disaster. Each attack was repulsed with heavy casualties as the Bulgarians tenaciously defended their well-prepared positions. What had gone wrong? Okay. The countryside west of Lake Doiron is a labyrinth of hills, gullies, and ravines. Broken terrain that was well incorporated into a defensive system. German and Bulgarian engineers worked tirelessly to turn a natural fortress into a major stronghold. Undisturbed for more than half a year, they had built 3 defensive trench lines running across hills and ridges, each of increasing height. The little mountain range the British dubbed Pip Ridge was 600 meters high, and each of its 6 peaks heavily fortified. The narrow passages leading up, not much wider than mule tracks, were covered by machine guns and barbed wire. To the east, almost the same height, rose Grand Coronet. On its peak, the Bulgarians had built their major observation post. The British nicknamed it the Evil Eye, or the Eye of the Devil, for it overlooked all their lines. and nothing escaped its gaze, like the eye of Sauron. Tolkien fought in World War I, though not on this front. Over the months, the Bulgarians brought in barbed wire, wooden beams, and tons of steel and concrete. With steel picks and drills, the men drove into the solid rock, blasting out dugouts and trenches with explosives. Deep into the earth, they dug ammunition stores and command bunkers, some with concrete roofs 2 meters thick. Each of the defensive sectors had machine gun bunkers and trench mortar positions in place, often protected by steel and concrete to withstand bombardments. Heavy Bulgarian artillery batteries ranging from 105 millimeters to 150 millimeters were also well dispersed and hidden among the hills. One recipe for a successful defense during the Great War lay in the close cooperation of gunners and their observers. Great emphasis here was put on establishing an efficient network of communications. Telephone lines were buried deep in the earth, and there was also a system of semaphore flags, carrier pigeons, and heliograph signals in place. To pinpoint targets, topographical experts had made surveys of the area and prepared detailed ranging tables. To complete all this, the lines were held by one of Bulgaria's top military units, the 9th Pleven Division. Very experienced, well-trained, and well-equipped, the Pleven Division would meet any attacker with a hail of machine gun fire, hand grenades, and trench mortar shells. And this was pretty much the area the British were supposed to break. On April 22, 1917, the Second Battle of Doiran began.
Dug in deep, equipped for attack, outnumbered, determined to win. Double trench lines that won't give in, prepared, let the battle begin.
In a long preliminary bombardment, over 3 days long, British artillery peppered the mountains in hopes of cutting the wire and smashing the Bulgarian guns and dugouts. With blackened faces, the men of the British 22nd and 26th Divisions stormed up the hills during the night. The plan was to surprise the defenders with a night attack. But dozens of searchlights suddenly lit up, illuminating their approach. Then the advancing troops got hit by very accurate defensive fire. Scrambling up and down the steep slopes, the British soldiers were half walking, half crawling across the ridges, through the thick and thorny brushwood. Only the occasional boulders protected them from gunfire and shrapnel. But once hit, the ricochet would send deadly rock splinters flying all over. Those who made it all the way to the top got to discover that there was not just a single trench line to overcome, but several strong points that mutually supported each other. Although the barbed wire was, in fact, destroyed in most places, the attacking troops were caught by enfilading machine gun and mortar fire, while the artillery cut them off from the reserves. Those who broke into the enemy lines were met by heavy Bulgarian counterattacks. Only a few stragglers that weren't killed or captured returned back to their own lines. So the second assault against the lines at Doiran didn't fare much better than the first. It did, however, bring the British closer to the Bulgarian lines. To dig new trenches, they worked with picks and sledgehammers in full view of the enemy. Constantly harassed by sniper and artillery fire, Allied High Command wanted to attack again as soon as possible. The new plan, though, was much like the old plan, except the already inadequate artillery bombardment was supplemented by gas shells. But of the 65,000 gas shells the British had requested, they got maybe 20,000, and more than half of these were defective. It was a recurring problem that the British War Office thought little of the war in the Balkans, the gardeners of Salonika, as the men there were often called. The 200 big guns assembled were nothing more than table scraps, with only 75 of them equal or larger than a 60-pounder. Ammunition was also really limited, so that's not good to begin with for an attack. But unknown to them, the Bulgarians were very well versed in anti-gas training. The 9th Pleven had more than enough modern gas masks at hand, and there were several meteorological stations around Doiran that warned when the weather was favorable for an enemy gas attack. Already on May 8th, the next major attack began, and the British preliminary barrage fell once more between Lake Doiran and Pip Ridge. In another night attack, the British Berkshires and Scottish Rifles broke into the enemy trenches. But once again, Bulgarian defensive fire and counterattacks forced the attackers out of their newly won positions, often at the point of a bayonet. As the sun rose, a gruesome sight presented itself in the hills. Rows of the dead and dying, of horribly mangled corpses and decomposing corpses, told of the night's carnage. Once more, the head-on assault against the Doiran positions was a dreadful failure. The resolute and dogged defense of the 9th Pleven, as well as a total breakdown in British communications, had doomed the assault. Fighting in the Balkans would continue, especially in the Struma Valley, but for a while, the British had no stomach to try again. It was not until the summer of 1918 that the Macedonian front returned to the spotlight.
Row on row, they come from below. Twice they attack, twice they're beaten back. Every time they try, they will die. The line on the front still intact.
On the Western Front, the Kaiserschlacht, the German spring offensives, had caused major worry in Allied high command. To relieve their hard-pressed forces with attacks elsewhere, the French sent General Franchet d'Esprit, Desperate Frankie, to Macedonia to have a go against the Bulgarians with the Army of the Orient. The British were less than enthusiastic about another offensive at Lake Doiran. A lot of their troops had been sent to Palestine and Belgium as well, so what was left was weaker than a year earlier. Relief came, however, from Greece, which, after the abdication of King Constantine in June 1917, had fully committed its forces to the war against Bulgaria. Greece had replaced Russia in the five-nation army. The Russians left the war after the revolutions of 1917. So it was Britain, France, Italy, Serbia, and Greece currently in the Army of the Orient. A new plan was made to break the soft underbelly of the Central Powers. Many thought that the Bulgarians were war-weary by now, and that their army would disintegrate once their lines were broken. So while Serbian and French troops would move against the Bulgarian positions in the Moglena Mountains, the British would again try their luck west of Lake Doiran. Facing the British 12th Corps was once more their old adversary, the battle-hardened 9th Pleven Division. Their defensive positions had been further improved, and with 122 artillery guns and 188 machine guns in place, the Bulgarians were more than ready. In the early morning hours of September 18, 1918, British and Greek forces went on the attack. The first push seemed promising, especially when the Greek troops of the Saras Division took several strong points of Petit Coronet. Heavy hand-to-hand fighting followed as the Bulgarian defenders tenaciously held their positions with grenades and flamethrowers. Soon, the whole Lake Doiran Valley was filled with smoke, flares, and bursting shells. Poison gas filled up the narrow, winding paths as flames thrashed over the steep ridges. 3 times the attackers went up against the lines. 3 times they were beaten back. Bulgarian artillery and trench mortar fire was relentless. After suffering heavy casualties, the surviving units withdrew from their untenable positions. Under the gaze of the Devil's Eye, the exhausted Allied troops retreated to their starting points. British High Command had to concede that they had failed and that the Doiran front remained unbroken. And just 2 days later, the news arrived that the Bulgarians were leaving. Wait, what? Leaving? This stunned the British troops, who had just suffered a major defeat, and they now received the order to pursue a rapidly retreating enemy. This came from the success of the French and Serbian forces, who had broken through the Bulgarian lines. Now in danger of being outflanked, the Bulgarian First Army had to withdraw from the Lake Doiran region. After sabotaging or destroying any equipment that could not be carried, the 9th Pleven Division left Doiran for the Costarino Pass. Had you been there when the dawn broke, had you looked from out the trenches, you'd have seen that Serbian hillside, seen the aftermath of battle, seen the scattered picks and shovels, seen the scraps of stray equipment, here and there a lonely rifle or a Lewis gun all twisted, seen the little heaps of khaki lying huddled on the hillside, huddled by the Bulgar trenches, very still and very silent. The dominoes of the Central Powers now fell rapidly, and 7 weeks later, the war was over. The gardeners of Salonika had finally knocked over the first domino. Okay, so Per,
Yep.
Bulgaria. You guys have played there, right?
Yeah, recently, as we are recording this, we played there. It was a fantastic show.
This summer.
Yes, it was a festival and it was a fantastic show. And we premiered Valley of Death.
Did you? And what did you guys say before you played? Did you mention that it's?
Yes, of course. Joachim was explaining a little bit like how emotional it is to write a song about a specific country and then play it in that country, but even more to premiere play it in that specific country. It's not very often we had the chance to do that.
No.
But here was our chance because we held on to the song Valley of Death just for this specific purpose to premiere it for the Bulgarians.
Had you, before the album came, oh, it's been out for a while now, but before it came out, had you like teased that there would be a song about the Macedonian Salonika front?
Well, I mean, we told probably like 10 years ago that we one day gonna write a song about Bulgaria.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it took 10 years or a little bit more, actually, I guess. But they were patient. Thank you so much to all the Bulgarians watching.
I love that line. Thank you so much to all you Bulgarians out there.
Yeah, they were patient.
Tell us a little bit more about your travels there, your journeys there.
Okay, so we were actually we were traveling away from that show, and we were crossing over Bulgaria land, and then we came to the city of Veliki Tarnovo.
Okay.
Veliku Tarnovo. If I'm not mistaken, this used to be the capital of Bulgaria before a long time ago.
Yeah.
And there is a military university, and the head of the military university invited us.
Is he a fan, or he just knew you guys were coming?
He heard about the song, found out about the song, and he was like saying that he had a dream to invite us.
Yeah.
That dream came true. He invited us, we came, and it was a spectacle. I mean, there was a lot of things happening in the day. First, they show us around on the military university ground.
Yeah.
And they took us underground in the crypt of our church.
Oh, that's cool. That's got to be cool.
To add a little bit to this is the same military university that General Vaso was studying.
Okay.
And so when we came out of that crypt, there was soldiers lined up.
Yeah.
There was also some soldiers who looked pretty badass. They had balaclavas and
Sure.
and they had weapons and things, and we were wondering what's going to happen now. And then they played our song Valley of Death, and they had a show, like a synchronized hand-to-hand fighting show.
No way.
To it. What happens then is, of course, they do a lot of things that looks scary.
Yeah.
And then we find out that they actually competed with this one in Bulgaria's Got Talent, made it to the second place in Bulgaria's Got Talent.
This interview gets this going. Man, this might be my favorite one so far. I've learned more stuff today than I ever learned.
And after we did that, we did a signing session with the cadets of the university.
Yeah? Cool.
And we met a lot of them. And they even came from other parts of Bulgaria. Just for this. And when we were done with that, it was like, okay, this was the start of the day.
Yeah.
So then, guess what? I get to jump into a T-72 and drive out in the wilderness.
You got to jump into a T-72 and drive into the wilderness. It's like the best day ever. Is it like noon or something now? Or?
Yeah, somewhere in the wilderness, there's a shooting range. We get to shoot different variety of weapons.
Did you get to shoot the tank? Did you get to fire that?
The tank was not shootable because of the dry season. So if you shoot with it, it can start a forest fire.
Okay, yeah.
So we didn't shoot a tank.
Yeah, I'd like that.
It's yet to do.
That Sabaton is an environmental friendly band. I mean, I think we can all take that away from today.
And then, of course, when we were done with that, and we had spent the whole day in the field, it was super hot, by the way.
Yeah.
And some of our polar bears in the band that comes from way up north, they were struggling a lot.
No? Yes?
Yes. They were struggling a little bit to stay in this heat. But for the rest of us, and then to enjoy the night, we even got a little bit of this with us.
A little bit. What is that? What's in there?
Yes.
It's Bulgaria, so it's either some plum variant, like Slivovitz variant, or some rocky variant.
It's rakia.
Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. Ooh, which I prefer, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, rocky's good.
So we have plenty of rakia to drink here.
Yeah. Now, we're going to say goodbye in a second, but I do want to point out that Tommy might have had some problems in the heat there, but
And just
oh, okay, yeah,
he also had some problems.
yeah, but 10 points to the one I mentioned. When we were in Verdun, remember that when it was like snowing and he was just wearing that little corduroy jeans jacket? I'm like, this guy really is from the North Pole.
Yeah.
All right, well, you say goodbye to everybody, okay?
Thank you everybody for watching. You have been watching the Valley of Death episode about the Valley of Death.
About the Valley of Death and the amazing Bulgarian defenses during the First World War.
Cool.
See you next time.
No surrender, fight
See you next time. Okay. That was cool. That was interesting. It was so cool to see so many photographs taken to really make you feel you were there. All that work as well. You imagine they're not just fighting, it's all that work to fortify those positions. With pickaxes, they're digging it out, they're digging trenches, they're building out concrete. It said the thickness of the concrete roofs. It must have taken so much work. I loved especially the photo of the telescope periscope with the two branches. That was cool looking at that. And I loved the line, they now had a plan pretty much like the old plan. And that just made me think of Blackadder when they're like, oh yeah, we're going to do exactly the same thing, only this time we're going to go an hour later or something. But we're doing exactly the same crazy idea that we did before and failed completely. It was very interesting. I do like these videos because it gives you so much context and it gives you so much information that I just don't know a lot about World War One apart from the obvious bits and bobs, mostly the trenches in the war in France. You don't really think about any other fights that are going on or what other countries are involved. And that must be even worse for kids today, that they really just do not know anything about it at all. And I don't know that much. So it's interesting to find out more. That was good. That was really good. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a bit of a long one today. But yeah, always worth it with Sabaton. And that was cool. And we will be back with more Sabaton at some point. I'm not sure when, and I'm not sure what will be next, but we will get there. But links are in the description for this one. Please go and give the guys a like and show some support. And I'll link to the history channel as well, so you can check out the video or any other videos there. Not a lot else to say. If you enjoyed this, please consider giving me a thumbs up and a like and a sub and a comment and all that good stuff, and share the video and hype the video. I don't know what the hyping is all about, but that's a fairly new thing for me. And I'll be back with more soon. Let me know what you thought of this one. Guys, have a good day. Be good. If you can't be good, be careful. See you in the next one. Bye for now.